So we're going to this fourth slide of this algebra. Up to question number 9 is over. Now we're going for the 10th one. Let me just read this. If the positive number is increased by 3 and then squared, the result is 23 more than the original number. Find the original number. So here already I have worked out, so I just want to explain this, whatever is done here. So you can see that the number we are taking is n, and it is given that it is increased by 3. So I'm just adding this 3 to that and then squaring that. So we are covering squaring the entire thing here, and that should be equal to, the result is 23 more than the original. So 23 more than the original. So after writing this, just solve for this. N plus 3, the whole square just expanded. It's going to be n square plus 6n plus 9, which is equal to 23 plus n. So bring this to the other side, and then you can see that the maximum power is 2 against the quadratic equation. So solve this and you get this equation. Once you get n square plus 5n minus 14 equal to 0, then 14 again you take it and take the factors of 14 as 1 and 14 and 2 and 7, and you can see that it is negative. Therefore the difference of the 2 should be the middle value. So difference of the 2 is 2 and 7 is matching here, because 2 and 7 difference is 5 and you have 5 here. So we are taking these two values and then write this, and then the sign of this here, the x term will be positive, that will go to the larger number. So here, as the product of these two is negative, so other one should be negative. So n minus 2 into n plus 7 equal to 0. Therefore it cannot be a negative value. Therefore we are going to take n equal to 2 as a value and replace this again and check if the number is 2 and then it's increased by 3 is 2 plus 3 is 5, and then squaring them is 5 square is 25, and that is equal to 23 more than the original number. So original number is 2, so 23 plus 2 is 25. So therefore it matches, right? So we'll go to the next one now. Next is question number 11. If the price of the book goes down by rupees 20 per dozen, a person can purchase 50 dozen books more for rupees 30,000. Find the original price of each book. So here we are going to already, as I have worked out this one, I just want to explain this. We are going to consider this price as P and the quantity in dozen as Q. So the overall price is nothing but the price per dozen into the quantity purchase, which is equal to 30,000. That's what is mentioned here. And I'm just writing this as 30k because all the time I don't have to repeat this number of zeros. So k is nothing but 1000. So here, next step what you're going to do is, as per the statement given here, if the price is less by 20 rupees per dozen. So all this in terms of dozen only we are taking it. So directly 20 rupees per dozen if it is less. So P minus 20, if that is the rate, he is going to buy 50 dozen books more. So whatever the quantity earlier purchase was Q, now it's going to be Q plus 50. So P minus 20 into Q plus 50 is the total amount. That's again the same thing for 30k. 30k you can write, or you can also write PQ, because PQ is equal to 30k. So I'm just writing this as PQ because most of the time when you solve this one, you can see that you get one more PQ here and that will get cancelled. So here now you expand this P into Q is PQ, and this is 50P. This minus 20 into Q is minus 20Q, and the other one is minus 20 into 50 is minus 1000, which is equal to PQ. So these two will get cancelled, and the balance what you have is 50p minus 20q minus 1000, where the zeros you can remove it. So that's what I have done here. So 5p minus 2q minus 100 equal to 0. And now you have two variables here, one equation. So you need to replace one of them. So you know that you need the price. So we don't have to replace this p, but we have to replace this q. So you can just say q is nothing but 30k by P, or 30,000 by P. So replace that one here. So 5P minus 2 into 30k minus this one, instead of Q I'm replacing 30k by P minus 100 equal to 0, and multiply through it into P. Therefore 5P square minus 60k minus 100P equal to 0. So here again remove this 5 from all this, divide the entire thing by 5, then you will get 5P square minus 12k minus 20P equal to 0. Then I'm just replacing this value. K is nothing but 1000, so 12,000, and then bring this one in the middle and bring this constant up to the other side. So finally you have this quadratic equation as P square minus 20p minus 12,000 equal to 0. Then take this 12,000 here and find the factors of this in such a way that, because there is a negative sign here, so you have to have the difference of the two factors whatever you are taking as a middle value, that is the coefficient of P. So you have 20 here, so I'm just directly writing as 120 into 100, where the difference gives me 20. So the two factors which you're going to take as 120 and 100. So write down here p minus p and 120, p and 100. And here the negative sign is there, so that will come for the larger number as usual. So minus here, because the product is negative, the other one should be positive. So when you solve for this, you will get p is equal to 120 or p equal to minus 100. And you know that the value cannot be negative because the price cannot be negative here. So we have to consider this p as 120. So that's the answer here. So the price of the original price of each book, I'm sorry to say, this is again this is per dozen. The price whatever we found out here is nothing but per dozen. So 1 dozen book is nothing but 12 books, and 12 books is costing 120 rupees. So one book will cost how much? 120 by 12 is nothing but 10 rupees. So that's the answer. Next we'll see this. In a class of 8 students play basketball. The remaining students, who represent 7 times the square root of the strength of the class, play football. Find the strength of the class. So here we are considered the total number of students as x. Basketball, 8 students are playing, therefore football will be nothing but x minus 8. And also given that this remaining student, that is x minus 8 is nothing but 7 times the square root of the total. So 7 times the square root of the total. And now to solve this, I'm just squaring both the sides. When you square this side, x minus 8 the whole square, which is equal to 49x square, 49 into x. And then bring this to this side. When you bring it in this form, then you will get the final equation as x square minus 65x plus 64 equals 0. So once you get, again you bring this 64, and this is a plus sign, therefore sum of the two should be in the middle. So 64 is nothing but 1 into 64. When you take that is 65, that is in the middle, so therefore it matches. And now this should be negative, that is you have 1 and 64, and because it is positive, both should have the same sign here. So this is negative sign, so you have to put negative in both the case. So either x is equal to 1 or x is equal to 64, because you know that x is equal to 1 is not possible, because already we have one of the values as 7 or 8 here. So that's not possible, therefore x is equal to 64. Therefore the total number of this one, students are 64. You can also match this one here and check here. 64 when you say, it's going to be like total is 64, and this 8, this balance students is nothing but 64 minus 8 is 56, which is nothing but 7 times of root of 64. So it is matching. Therefore, this is the right answer. Thank you. With this, we are completing this algebra. Thank you.